busway but also other bus routes and modern PUVs that offer cashless payments. However, the beep cards sold at train stations will still cost 30 pesos each as this is under a different concession agreement. What is clear as of now is that the dual mode of payment will continue along the EDSA busway until further notice. Automated fare collection service providers like SquidPay welcome the government's decision to open up the busway to other companies. But transport operators, like those operating the Buendia Senate route, are asking for subsidies. They said the free provision of cards will incur additional costs that may take a hit on the viability of their cooperative. In response, the LTFRB said they don't have the budget yet to help the transport operators. Sean, again, just to be clear, those who already have their cards may use this if they are taking the EDSA busway as well as other modes of transportation. But if they don't, they can opt to pay in cash. Sean.
Thanks for that update, Jared De La Peña, joining us live from EDSA Mandaluyong. The LRT Line 2 has resumed operations after a fire incident at the Santolan station earlier this morning. The train line closed for several hours after a fire erupted at around 5 a.m., which damaged its power supply. 8 stations from Recto to Cubao were affected by this closure that lasted until past 2 this afternoon. Meanwhile, operations have resumed, and the Santolan, Anonas, and Katipunan stations will still remain closed, though, due to a previous fire incident. And Malacanang is not ruling out calling for a special session should Congress fail to pass the 2021 national budget by mid-December. In his briefing today, spokesman Harry Roque said this is to ensure the approval of the 4.5 trillion war chest within the year. The palace mouthpiece also responded to concerns of some senators that the speakership row at the lower house could result in a budget impasse. Roque said the upper chamber can still continue deliberating the spending plan on the committee level.
Na bagamat na-approve sa second reading pa lamang ang panukalang batas na National Appropriations Bill sa mababang kapulungan, pwede naman po magpatuloy ang Senado sa kanilang deliberations on the committee level. No? Kung talagang kinakailangan, after the 14th, dun po magpapatawag ng special session. Wala naman pong prejudice yan.
Still on that budget deadlock, senators rebutted House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano for implying that the upper chamber is to blame should there be any delays in the passage of the 2021 national budget. The House Speaker has since apologized. In a statement, Senate President Tito Sotto said the House should have slated to pass on third reading its version of the GAB or General Appropriations Bill in October 17 and not November 17. Senator Panfilo Lacson said he has urged the House Speaker to resume their session earlier than planned just to approve their version of the GAB on third and final reading. Lacson added that this would give senators more elbow room to scrutinize the spending plan and still pass it on time. Meanwhile, the Makabayan bloc in the lower chamber of in the lower house also pushed for session to resume to prioritize the allocated budget for health, education, employment, and fiscal aid.
Paalala natin, sa Kongreso dapat yung sinasabing power of the purse. But for every power, sabi nga doon sa sine, carries with it great responsibility. So hindi natin pwedeng exercise yan na in a vacuum. Unprecedented, by the way, una-unahan nito, na hindi magpa-participate collegially yung buong Kamara.
We're pausing for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Philippines may have to wait just a little bit longer despite the World Health Organization saying that a COVID-19 vaccine will be available by the end of the year. In today's Laging Handa briefing, Dr. Jaime Montoya, Executive Director of the Philippine Council for Health, Research and Development, cited the lengthy process that vaccines will have to go through. The Philippines is set to conduct clinical trials with Russia's Gamaleya Institute, independent group Janssen, and the Sinovac group from China. Montoya said Russia's Sputnik V is still undergoing a second round of evaluation here in the Philippines. Meanwhile, the WHO solidarity trials in the country are set to begin by the end of October.
Ikinokonsidera po natin dito ang COVAX facility na inorganize ng WHO, ng CEPI, yung Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Initiative, at ng Gavi para maka-access po tayo ng at least 20% of our demand for vaccines. So ito po ay 20%. At ito po ay lalabas ang supply first quarter of next year. So ibig sabihin po, lalabas sa kanila.
Meanwhile, COVID-19 cases here in the country have breached the 331,000 mark on Tuesday as the health department logged more than 2,300 new infections. The death toll has also exceeded 6,000 with 144 new fatalities in the past 24 hours. Here's some good news though. Almost 700 individuals have gotten better from the virus as recovery spiked to 274,000 today. And lawmakers are rejecting the health department's request for higher funding to address mental health concerns. For the details, Greg Gregorio joins us live from Mandaluyong. Greg, how exactly did mental health advocates as well as other government agencies react to this?
Sean, the Labor Department joins mental health advocates to back DOH in seeking for higher budget for its mental health program. Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere said the agency increased its allocation for the program to 234 million from 201 million last year. This was for medicines, campaigns, and additional manpower to the crisis hotline of the National Center for Mental Health. But Vergere on Wednesday disclosed that the proposed higher budget for 2021 has been rejected. This earned negative reactions from mental health advocates. For Dr. Gia Season and occupational medicine specialists, individuals with mental health concerns should be assisted. Season said the government can do this by providing financial assistance so they can have access to mental health professionals. Dr. RJ Nagit, chairperson of the Youth for Mental Health Coalition Incorporated, noted that it's about time for the DOH to receive additional funding. Nagit said the multi-million budget for the beautification of Manila Bay should have been used for this instead. The DOLE also said enough budget for the DOH is needed, citing the initial result of its recent survey among BPO companies. Data showed that 37% of workers said the government's lack of investment in public mental health is a structural challenge. Sean, the 2021 budget of the Department of Health has been approved at the House of Representatives on the second reading. However, lawmakers are still expected to conduct small deliberations, though, in the coming days before it goes to the plenary. Sean?
Right, thank you for that update. Greg Gregorio joining us live from Mandaluyong City. And the Foreign Affairs Department defends before the Senate its proposed 22 billion peso budget for 2021. During this hearing, senators expressed concern over the meager allocation that's left for the DFA this year. Los Baños joins us live from Pasig City with more on this. Man, what's going on with the DFA's budget?
Yes, Sean, some senators are worried that the Foreign Affairs Department's budget for the repatriation of overseas Filipino workers will not be enough for the next 3 months. This as they have yet to bring home thousands of Filipinos, but their budget for repatriation is already down to 20 million pesos. In today's budget hearing, Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodoro Locsin Jr. told senators that they have already used up 96% of their 1 billion peso budget. This means they only have around 19 million pesos left for next month. Senator Amy Marcos said they may not be enough, or this may not be enough, especially with DFA's continuous repatriation efforts. The DFA said some 47,000 Filipinos are still stuck in the Middle East alone. Majority of them have lost their jobs due to the pandemic. Meanwhile, Locsin said there is higher demand now for domestic helpers abroad. He assured Filipinos that they would be well taken care of by employers should they apply for the job. Sean Locsin was also asked his opinion on Duterte's suggestion to sell Philippine properties in Tokyo, Japan, but Secretary Locsin said he's not in favor of this, as these are good commercial properties and they are serving their purposes well. Sean?
Right, man. Is the DFA budget for next year getting a break considering all these OFWs, or has the budget been put maybe in another line agency, perhaps? Thank you very much. Anyways, for that update, Manlos Baños joining us live from Pasig City. Tens of thousands of chickens were found dead at a farm in Nagcarlan, Laguna. Losses are pegged at 6 million pesos. The causes of death in this report by Shaila Francisco.
Some 43,000 chickens were found dead at this Happy Nest poultry farm in Barangay Maravilla, Nagcarlan, Laguna on Tuesday. The animals died of heat stroke after power went out for more than an hour in the area. Barangay officials, however, clarified that the chickens were healthy.
Nag-brown out na mahigit na 4 hours. So, hindi kinaya ng generator yung blower. Sa sobrang init, kaya ang para ko sa tao na stroke na kamatay. Pero wala ang sakit.
The farm's losses are estimated at more than 6 million pesos. The Municipal Agriculture in Nagcarlan, Laguna is now coordinating with the barangay and the caretaker for the proper disposal of the animals. Some 7,000 survivor chickens were distributed to nearby residents for free. Authorities said the animals are safe to eat as they have not manifested symptoms for any disease.
Kinatatakot ng avian influenza, ang symptoms po doon ay yung namamagang buka, tatae. Sabagay po sa interview ko din sa nag-caretaker, wala naman pong ganun pangyayari.
For its part, the Bureau of Animal Industry said this is an isolated incident. Still, the agency advised poultry raisers to prepare emergency measures for similar incidents. The BAI also has a message to poultry raisers, especially on the threat of heat stroke to animals.
Kung kukunti lang naman yan, isa sa mga ginagawa po sa mga local farms ay naghahanda po sila ng tubig. Dapat hindi mawala ng tubig.
Shaila Francisco, VR 1 News.
You can now enjoy the new way of learning at home because DepEd TV is available for free to all Signal and satellite subscribers. Tune in to Channel 149 for Signal and Channel 189 for satellite. And for more updates, do follow News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Shawn Yao. We are One News.